All right, this next video is going to be on codominance, and what we use as a common example of codominance is blood type. So I'm going to show you a couple things. Blood type is really actually quite easy. These problems are pretty easy, but I think it's a lot easier if you use the nomenclature that I use. So I'm going to show you the standard nomenclature for blood type. First of all, there are 4 blood types: A, B, and O. Type A, what that means is that your red blood cells have an antigen or a marker on the surface of the red blood cells that identifies those red blood cells as being type A. If you're type B, you produce the B antigen. If you are type AB, A and B are codominant, so that means they're both expressed. So if you're type AB, you produce the A and the B antigens. Type O is recessive to both A and B. So if you're type O, you don't produce any antigens whatsoever. Because you don't produce any antigens on the surface of your red blood cells, you can donate blood to anybody. Type O is called the universal donor. Type AB, on the other hand, is the universal recipient. It can receive any of the other blood types. Because it has both markers on its cells, the immune system doesn't recognize any blood type as foreign. If you're type O, you can only receive type O. Type O and type A are the most common blood types in the U.S. And with the exception of certain populations, pretty much 95% of the blood types are either A or O. Something around there. It's really high. All right, so as far as the genetics of blood type go, if you are type A, the blood type nomenclature, it's represented with the letter I. Capital I for either A or B, and then a little I for O. So if you are type A, you could either be homozygous type A, which looks like that, or you could be heterozygous. So you could have a type A allele and you could have a type O allele. O is recessive, so it doesn't show up. If you're type B, same thing, except with B's. So you're really attaching the blood type to the I. For type AB, there's only one way that you can have type AB blood. You have an A allele and you have a B allele. And then for type O, you're recessive. I don't use those I's. It's kind of like the X's. It's a little busy. So when I'm working these problems, I work them like this. Type A can either be 2 A alleles, or it could be an A allele and an O allele. Type B can either be 2 B alleles or a B allele and an O allele. Type AB, you have an A allele and you have a B allele. For type O, you have 2 O alleles. That to me is easier as long as you understand what the blood types are. All right, so the first question, number 33. If 2 people who have AB blood, so let's write down our parent cross first, and they have 4 children, we know that one of the children will have type A, one will have B, and another will have type AB. So first of all, let's do a Punnett square to see where this question is even coming from. So if we take an AB person here and here, this person can contribute an A or a B, this person can contribute an A or a B. Recombine everything. We see that there's 1 A, 2 ABs, and 1 BB, 1 B type. So the question says, we know that one of the children will have type A blood, one of the children will have type B blood, and 2 will have AB. The answer is actually false. Even though this is what we predict, it's not what we know. They could have 4 kids who all have type A. That's not a real likelihood, because what that would be is they have a 1 in 4 chance of getting type AA once, type A. So that would be 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4 to get 4 kids in a row who are type A. But it could happen. All right, so moving on. The answer to that is false. For 34, Olga is married for a second time. Her first husband is type A. So Olga, we don't even know Olga's blood type yet. But we know that her first husband was type A. And that's all we know. She had a child from that marriage who was type O. That's the only way that type O kid can be. So that means that that child got an O allele from dad and an O allele from Olga. That's what we know so far. Now, her new husband is type B. So let's get Olga again. We know that she's something type O, and her new husband is type B. But that's all we know, because he could be big B, he could be big B O. But they have a child who is type AB. So this child got the B allele from dad. That means that they got the A allele from Olga. So there's Olga's genotype. What is Olga's genotype? Her genotype is AO, or you could look at it as heterozygous for A. And her blood type is type A. 35. Is it possible for a type O woman, so here's the type O woman, is it possible for her to have a type A child? Well, she's not the only contributing parent. So if the father of this A child had an A allele, then yes, they could have a type A child. Is it possible for a type B woman? So for 36, let's have a type B woman. That's all we know is that she's type B. Can she have a type A child? Well, again, as long as the father of this kid had an A allele, the mother could donate an O allele and have an A kid. So yes, someone with type B can have a kid with type O. Last one, we've got a type O male. Is it possible for him to have an AB kid? Well, no matter what the other parent is, this AB kid has to get an O allele from this particular parent. So no, that doesn't work. This child would have gotten an A or a B from the father, and if the father is type O, it didn't happen. All right, that's it for blood types. So for the next time, you should finish out the problems, 38 through 46.